The same day repeated for 1,000 years. Mom said, "Brother Raig, your patrol squad has a tough job guarding the island. Come, I toast to you. Let's drink, let's drink." Brother Raig said, "What's tough or not doesn't mean a damn thing." Mom said, "People have feelings. You didn't make things hard for us, and everyone has always felt grateful to you deep down." Brother Raig said, "As for repaying you, hey," as he held Mom's hands, "just like now, or cooperating a bit more, and then," as he smelled Mom's face and grabbed her shirt. Mom dropped the glass and said, "Brother Raig, don't be like this," as she tried to reach the handgun on the table. As Mom was about to grab the handgun, Brother Raig's necklace suddenly rang. Ring, ring, ring. Wu Chen karate chopped Brother Raig's neck. Mom covered herself and said, "You, how did you get here?" Wu Chen said, "There should be more members of the group on the island, right? If we kill him, this biometric device will transmit news of his death." Mom took the keyring as the radio said, "What are you guys doing?" Wu Chen said, "Nothing, just accidentally bumped it," as he tried imitating rage. Mom said, "Put back the keys." The radio said, "Damn it, be sharp, you hear me?" Wu Chen said, "Got it, got it." Wu Chen said to Mom, "They've set up too many traps. Let's pull out first." Outside, Mom said, "Damn, I almost got the key to the eastern dungeon where Professor Yi is held." Wu Chen said, "It's not as simple as you think." Mom said, "Oliver and the others have never been here. They don't even know this place exists. So how did you find it? And why are you helping me?" Wu Chen said, "Finding you is easy. Whether digging tunnels or building passageways, you have to avoid surface rock fissures and vegetation layers first, then avoid unstable gravel zones. There are only a few places left. I came to rescue Professor Yi. We're on the same side." Mom said, "Looking at your skills, I figured you weren't ordinary." Wu Chen said, "But you making Oliver so cautious that it affects our big mission. Honestly, your plan didn't go all that well." Mom said, "Our plan was to wait until those with heavy firepower leave the island for a deal. Then, while the careless and lecherous Rage's squad of 10 guards the island, we'd get them drunk and steal the key to release Professor Yi." Wu Chen said, "And after releasing Professor Yi?" Mom said, "She's so capable. Once she's out, she'll find a way for sure." Wu Chen said, "Want Professor Yi to take on a group with hot weapons who can make hundreds vanish. She's a scientist, not a Super Saiyan. Professionals should handle professional things, but you need to share all the information you have with me." Mom said, "Over 10 years ago, a yacht hit a reef nearby. A wounded man drifted to the island. Because he was handsome, he immediately charmed one of the island's girls. She gave him food and water. When he was cold, she used her body to warm him. Under her care, he gradually recovered. After healing, he fixed the yacht and left the island without a word." Wu Chen said, "That man's connection to the current gang is?" Mom said, "Not long after he left, he returned with several men and boatloads of tools and building materials. They used us to help them build things. Once done, they turned on us and slaughtered without mercy." Wu Chen said, "What are they doing on this island exactly?" Mom said, "I heard it later from Reggae. They were originally a subcontracted team from Deep Blue Biotech in the UK, fishing a type of deep-sea fish. That species was believed to have gone extinct 65 million years ago, but it turns out they're still alive and come to spawn in the bay near this island every year." Wu Chen said, "UK's Deep Blue Biotech? I know that company. They focus on reversing cell aging and neural regulation." Mom said, "Rega mentioned just the fish eggs alone have effects like life extension, eternal youth, and even immortality." Wu Chen said, "Is that even a tech company? Sounds like cultivation territory. Foreigners really seem to believe in this stuff." "Wait! Professor Yi also researches rare flora and fauna. Could it be?" Mom said, "Yeah, after she arrived, they didn't want a subcontract anymore. They tried to contact buyers directly and make deliveries themselves. The core members went off recently to handle that. It usually takes 3 days." Wu Chen said, "Even though you're all women, there are still so many of you. They dare to leave only 10 men to guard the island?" Mom said, "They've set up lots of traps here, many with powerful explosives buried." Wu Chen said to himself, "In other words, if we want to take them out without hurting innocents, we must strike them all, especially the ones with heavy weapons, in one go." This is the Indian Ocean, right in the migratory path of blue whales from breeding to feeding grounds, and in just 3 days it'll be high tide. Who would have thought, after 1,000 cycles of messing with people, tricks for marine animals could come in handy here? Wu Chen said, "Mom, tomorrow find a way to get closer to Rage and help me gather some stuff." Mom said, "All right," Wu Chen said, "then lead everyone to the far side of the eastern mountain, away from the west end of the island." Mom said, "Okay." As Wu Chen swam under the sea, he said to himself, "Setup complete. All that's left is to wait for those guys to return and for the tide to rise." 3 days later, at dusk, tide rises. Wu Chen whispered, "Did you see clearly? Are those all of them?" Mom said, Wu Chen ran forward and said, "Let's go down to the mountain base to regroup with the others." Mom said, "So what now? What should we do?" Oliver hugged Wu Chen, and Wu Chen said, "We don't need to do anything. Just wait for the tide to recede tomorrow morning. The men slept forever. Mom was shocked. Oliver said, next day, how could this happen? Wu Chen said, I used the piezoelectric crystal from the stereo headset Mom got me to build a device that emits subsonic whale mating calls. Those whales were lured together. The mating calls resonated in the underwater canyon at high tide, expanding the range of the sound waves. It turned into a deadly subsonic weapon. Come on, let's head to the Eastern Dungeon and rescue Professor Yi. As Wu Chen took the key, suddenly a sexy lady shouted in fear, What's that thing? Wu Chen and the others saw a monster carrying one of their friends. Wu Chen said, Hey, Mom, that day I asked you to sync everything about the island with me. Are you still hiding something from me? As Mom sweated in silence, Wu Chen said to himself, now's not the time to investigate those things. With that kind of creature on the island, Professor Yi is in even more danger. Our top priority now is to rescue the professor. Mom looked away. Wu Chen said, Everyone, get inside the house. It's best not to be alone right now. Stay together. Don't go out, lock all doors and windows, and wait for me to return. As Mom sweated, Wu Chen said, Just cover their corpses for now. We won't deal with them further at the moment. Oliver, take care of the side door over there. I'll reinforce this window. Remember, when I'm not around, keep the doors and windows tightly shut. Wait for me to come back before doing anything. A few moments later outside, Wu Chen looked at the tracks of the monster. Wu Chen said, The footprints aren't as deep as before. Looks like their pace has slowed. As Wu Chen saw a man in the distance, the man looked at Wu Chen with glowing eyes and said, Gah! And charged at Wu Chen. Wu Chen took out his knife and said to himself, Such brutal force. A head-on clash isn't smart. We need to redirect the force and use it wisely. Wu Chen slashed its arm, and the man covered his face and said, Ugh! It ran away. Wu Chen said, Don't even think about running again, as he chased after it. Wu Chen looked around the cave and saw something in the distance. He saw a black lotus in a huge tree. Yi Kongyun Yilan and the beautiful blonde sexy sister lay on the ground. Wu Chen said to himself, That's Professor Yi? And the woman who was captured earlier, a fragrance with a hint of bitterness? What a strange smell. Wu Chen raised his knife and said, Just to be safe, let's get rid of this guy first, then rescue the others. Mom shouted no. As she ran towards Wu Chen, she grabbed Wu Chen's arm and said, Don't hurt him, please spare him. Wu Chen said, As long as he doesn't hurt anyone, we don't necessarily have to do anything to him. I'll go check on Professor Yi first. Wu Chen looked at Yi Kongyun and said, Good, she's still breathing, she can be saved. Mom put some cloth on Yilan's wounded arm. Wu Chen said, Mom, can you tell me now? Who is he really? Mom said, It all started 20 years ago. A wealthy man from England somehow got information about this island. He gathered nobles and elites from Western Europe to organize an expedition called Prehistoric World. Curious men and women, even those with children, signed up to join. After arriving on the island, at first everyone was overjoyed. They felt an unprecedented sense of freedom and happiness. In a world without restrictions, they indulged in this novelty completely, until someone discovered that cave. A man said, What kind of flower is this? I've never seen it before. His friend said, A new species. We're going to be famous. Mom continued, But after staying in the cave and near those flowers for too long, the men all went crazy and started hacking each other to death. As a result, almost all the men died in that chaos, and more than 10 women also perished. Those who survived were terrified and went into hiding. Eventually, they found the current shelter. No one knows how many years passed after that. Supplies gradually ran out, and some people broke down mentally and committed suicide. In the end, only a few of us remained. Wu Chen said, I see. I think I understand now. So, he's one of the people from the Deep Blue biological outsourcing team that came to the island afterward. Mom said, Yes, he's the one I mentioned before, the first injured man who drifted onto the island, and the girl who used her body to warm him. That was me. He brought the rest of that group to the island and deeply regretted it. Because of me, he turned against them and was severely beaten. He fled here, consumed the flowers, and went insane. But even in his madness, whenever he has a shred of sanity, he tries to attack those people, to protect us. As Wu Chen was shocked, Mom said, Oliver really likes you. She thinks you can protect her, protect us just like he did. Wu Chen said, Of course I'll protect her. Mom said, No, you're not fully getting it. What Oliver means by like. It's the same kind of like I had with him. Do you get it? Oliver wants to. Wu Chen sweated and scratched his face, saying, Huh? Oh, isn't this a bit of a weird time to bring that up? Let's focus on rescuing Professor Yi first. Suddenly, a beautiful lady said, Mom, something's wrong. More of those creatures' reinforcements are coming. They. Wu Chen was shocked. Mom was also shocked and said, Kids. At the shelter, a man said, So this is why you never let us come ashore before, huh? As the lady sobbed. The man held Oliver's head and said, They got to enjoy all those years. Now it's our turn to enjoy. as he grabbed Oliver. Oliver blushed and closed her eyes as she cried. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.